Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Whew, clearly my voice is not woken up this morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Me First Mornings. Thank you so much for being here. I am your host and energy alchemist, Patricia Rivera-Wolfson, and today's topic is all about self-care and self-preservation. We'll discuss what kind of self-care is not a luxury, but an essential tool in managing our energy as responsible humans moving about in the world. I am here to motivate and inspire you to create a daily routine that helps you calibrate and elevate your energy, connect with your inner guidance, and navigate challenges with ease and grace. And I am so happy to be here. If you have not done so yet, please feel free to subscribe now to my YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube at Me First Mornings. I do this show between from Monday through Friday, usually at 9:30 a.m. Today was 10 o'clock. Had a little appointment earlier this morning that took a little longer than we anticipated, but that's okay. That's life. You just kind of got to go with the flow, right? So thank you for being here, for those of you who are here. And if you are here and you are watching the show, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, by all means, come on in, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to know. All right, so what are we going to do today? I really want to talk about this self-care and self-preservation piece, but in order for us to get started and for me to get centered, because I did just kind of come from not so happy place, I came from the hospital, but everything's okay. We're just doing our thing, continuing the journey that my husband and I and our family are on. And so this is a perfect time for us to start to do the Me First Morning ritual so that I can get out of my head. I can get out of that energy, that heavy energy that's at the hospital, the heavy energy that is around this whole experience, and I can get myself centered. And so I ask you to join me, and we'll do this together so that we may center ourselves within our own selves, right? So I'm going to get centered, you're going to get centered, because I have my things going on, but I'm sure you have your things going on, and the kids going in the morning and trying to get to a meeting on time, and suddenly you don't have any clothes to wear, or whatever things are going on. And of course, the most serious stuff too, which is always underlying the stuff that stresses you out, right? Because if life is good, the little things don't really stress you out that much, right? It's only when you have so many things on your plate that you're always kind of have this base foundation of stress. So every other little thing becomes really overwhelming, adds to the anxiety, and it's really hard to get yourself back to that neutral state. And so that's what I want to do today. Well, this is what we do every day. Good morning. Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Big hug to you too. I receive the hugs. Thank you. I receive hugs and healing energy our way. Always. All right. So let's get started. We're going to light the candle and start our ritual. Okay, here we go. Candle is lit. We're going to put on some essential oils. I'm also going to drink my coffee. Why? Because we're hanging out. I know, I'm having coffee. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a fraud, because I'm just gonna have my coffee. Meanwhile I should be having some matcha latte or some tea or something a little bit more organic. No, just give it to me straight. Just black coffee. That's how I roll, people. That's how I roll. All right. So I like to put the essential oils in my hair because it makes my hair smell nice. You can put it wherever you like. You can rub it on your hands. Make sure you take a nice deep breath so that you can connect this smell with your kind of place of grounding, your neutral zone, right? So you want to this is what it is. We are training ourselves to have neutral zones. We're training ourselves to bring ourselves back to a connected place, right? So we lit the candle. I put on essential oils, and now we're going to do some deep breathing, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths. And I've been doing it this way, the deep breaths where we're breathing in for 5, holding for 5, and then exhaling for 10. And I find that's a really good breathing practice because it really slows things down for you, calms you down, and gets you centered. I believe that also that type of breathing triggers the vagus nerve, but I don't know enough about it to like talk about it, but look it up and see. But I believe that it does help with that. Good morning, Mom. Welcome. Good morning to anybody who is just joining us. And thank you for showing up, even though I'm a little late this morning. Okay, so let's say deep breaths. We're going to do 3 deep breaths, just as I said. We're going to count. You're going to take a deep breath counting for 5, breathing in, hold for 5, and then release and exhale for 10. Now, in the meantime, what I want you to envision and imagine as you're taking these deep breaths is I want you to have your feet well planted on the ground, all right? And I want you to just imagine that your feet are grounded and connected to the earth. If you can, imagine roots coming from the bottom of your feet into the ground, then that's great. Just imagine yourself planted, right? So that the energy, the earth's creation energy, the same energy that helps all of the plants and flowers grow from the earth, we want to let that fill us. We want to let that come in through our feet and just fill our whole body. And at the same time, we want to open up the top of our head. Obviously, I want you to think about sort of opening up the top of your head to receive the beautiful sunshine, the liquid sunlight. Just imagine it pouring into your head and filling your body with this healing light, this brilliant white healing light that just dissipates and just dissolves any stuck, stagnant, or dense energy that you have going on inside. So that when you release, when you exhale, you are releasing anything that doesn't serve you. So that's the process. So, that's the thinking that's going on at the same time, but we're going to do this 3 times together, slowly and carefully. Here we go. Deep breath in, lasting for 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And release for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. Let's do that again. I'm going to close my eyes and just do the breathing with you. Ready? Deep breath in on a count of 5 or with a count of 5. And hold. And release to a count of 10. Beautiful. We're going to do that one last time, and I really want you to think about allowing that energy to enter from the earth through your feet, feeling that grounded earth's energy. And I want you to also just think about that sun's energy, that uplifting energy that fills you with light and love and healing power. And I want you to just allow every single cell to have that energy and that light permeate every single cell as we take this last breath. Okay, here we go. And hold. And release. Okay, great. So now let's do a little stretching, okay? And so what we did was we eliminated, with our intention and with that breathing, we kind of eliminated some of that stuck, stagnant energy that I've talked about that we release from the inside. And then the stretching, what that does is the intention is the same, to release that stuck, that stiff and that tense energy that we have trapped in our body. Many of us in our neck, that's where I get a lot of my pain, sort of like the upper back, neck. It can be lower back. It can be anywhere. In your arms, we feel it all over the place. It's stuck energy and we want to release it, and you want to stretch it, and you want to make sure that you are gentle, so that you're not feeling any pain. And wherever you do have pain, remember, the secret is pay attention inside now. If you have pain, you have to be really careful with that. And I want you to just focus on it with your breath. If there's any part that's got pain, so like I go like this and the back of my neck hurts a little bit, so then I breathe in and then out. And as I breathe out, I stretch a little more, releasing any of that tension that can be released. We do whatever we can, right? And then once we're done this, we just shake it out. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Whew! Right? And if you have a yoga practice, if you have a different type of stretching routine, this would be the time that you would do that. This can last. This morning ritual, we do it. It lasts like 10, 15 minutes. It can last as long as you need it to last for yourself. You can add your own thing instead of stretching. You may want to put dancing. Just movement is important. Movement and connected movement, where you're like connecting your mind, your body, and your spirit and bringing those together. That is how we get grounded, and that is how we get centered to our own energy as opposed to someone else's energy. And that's actually what today's topic is all about, right? It's about us managing our energy. But first, let us finish our morning ritual by calling in our spiritual support team and asking for help to embody our intentions for the day. So think about what your GPS word is. If you don't know what the GPS word is that I'm talking about, that's something that I talk about on the show a lot. It's sort of like the pillar of the Me First method, the Me First routine. You can download, I do have a quick reference guide. Go into the comments or into the description, and you can download your free guide. You go right ahead, and it's at bit.ly/MeFirstMornings. And you can have this guide, and it includes, of course, our Me First ritual, just like we did it, how to calibrate your energy, a quick GPS activity that'll help you find your GPS word, your daily ABCs, and a simple guide to manage stress. So if any of that interests you, you can download it for free. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Dad. Good morning. Hi, Adelia. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for being here. That's what I wanted to say. All right. So now we're going to do my prayer that I've written for the purpose of calling in my spiritual support team. At this time, you are very welcome to call in your own spiritual support team in your own way, whether you have your own religious or spiritual affiliation and prayers that you say on your own. This is the time that you would do and add your own words. If you don't have your own words and you're like, who do I talk to? Who do I ask? Well, then you can just set the intention that this prayer that I'm saying applies for you too. All right, so here we go. So think about your GPS word. How do you want to feel? What do you want to embody today? And now we're going to ask for support. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. May the highest vibration of infinite consciousness connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. Woo! All right. I don't know why I do that. I always feel like I should cheer the end of the prayer, right? Because it feels exciting. Yes, spiritual team, let's go, woo! That's how I feel. That really is how I feel. I feel like, all right, let's go, team. Let's get this day started. So let's get this day started and let's talk about today's topic, right? So what am I talking about? And so in the description, it's like, what did I say in the description? It was like this simple solution, and it's what you're avoiding, right? And what's the simple solution? Here's your answer. It's taking care of yourself. I know. It's not self-care. I don't want to say self-care, because self-care seems to have this like dirty word. It's like there's this stickiness, this energetic stickiness around self-care, because it's been it's just been used in a way where it's like, it's for like rich white ladies, ladies who lunch, they go, oh, I need to do some self-care. Listen, I'm a lady who lunches. Like my husband was working and I would go for lunch with my friends. So it applies to me. So sure. Okay. Like, I go out and get mani-pedis. Absolutely, I own it, right? But that's not the self-care we're really talking about. Although that may fit into your self-care, that may be a way that you take care of yourself, but that's not really what we're talking about. When I'm talking about self-care, I'm talking about self-preservation. I'm talking about taking care of your needs so that you can function, right? Because here's the thing. We're given these, and this is a little personal because I actually had a conversation the other day with, sorry, Mom, Dad, I'm going to out you right now, but this is an important example. And Mom, you've given me permission to out you guys for examples that are poignant. And so I'm going to do this, right? And because this is important because everybody can relate. So my mom apparently went out somewhere with somebody had lunch with friends or something, okay, like literally the ladies at lunch. I don't know if she had lunch with friends. She went to go do something for herself, okay, I don't know what it was. And I was having a conversation with my dad, who then said, oh, your mom today is working. Yesterday she was gallivanting, so today she has to pay, right? Okay. So I love you, Dad. You are the best. We've already had this conversation, and I'm going to out you because this is important. And the reason this is important is because this is the message that women especially, not just women, but women especially, mothers especially, are given all the time. Here are your responsibilities. You're in charge of yourself, the house, taking care of your kids, taking care of your spouse, right? Making sure that they have what they need, especially if your spouse works outside of the house and you work in the house. I would even say that, if you're someone who is who works from home, it applies to you too. Whether or not you are a stay-at-home mom or you are a work-from-home mom, those pressures still apply, right? It's like everything you do is like, you have all these responsibilities. And if you go out to do something for yourself, have lunch with a friend, read a book, I find myself stopping myself so many times when I'm in the middle of things, thinking like, oh my God, I have things to do. I don't have time for this. And, when you do that repeatedly over and over again, and if you are a mom, and if you, or if you're a dad, if you are a person who is watching this show, and you can relate, please send me an emoji, give me a statement, let me know, yes, this is the case for me too. But here's what happens, right? Is that we are raised to take care of other people. I'm Portuguese, so in my culture, I can't speak for other cultures, but certainly in the Portuguese culture, women, you take care of everyone and everything. It's your responsibility. That's the way it was in my house. My dad went to work, my mom went to work too, but home things are women's responsibility. So anything that falls under the jurisdiction of the home, right? And so when that happens, there is very little time for other things, right? And so what happens, because you have so many responsibilities and so many things that you need to take care of, you're like, oh, I want to go to that yoga class. Okay, forget it. I don't have time for that today because I have to go grocery shopping. Oh, I have to go and, I really wanted to go to this class because it was such a great class and I'm feeling really inspired, right? But you're like, no, shit, I can't. I have to go pick up my kid from this sport and I have to go drive them to this thing and I have to take this. And you're like, well, whatever, I missed the class. It's okay, right? And it happens over and over and over and over again until you are completely depleted, until you are completely exhausted, until you get to a point where you're like, I don't remember the last time I did anything for myself. And you don't even think of yourself anymore because it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind, right? But you feel yourself slowly getting frustrated or angry or resentful because you don't have an outlet, right? That's part of where the daily ABCs came from. I would say not just part of. That is the whole principle of the daily ABCs is you have to at least do these 3 things. You have to do at least your daily ABCs. Number 1, an action you've been avoiding. Number 2, something for your body. And number 3, something creative. Now, when I say something creative, it can be anything that speaks to you, anything that maybe you were interested in as a little kid, anything that feels free and that has no result attached to it, which means you're not producing a piece of art to sell at a gallery. You're not creating a song to publish on the radio. You're not doing things to get graded, to get judged. You're doing it just to do it. You're sitting down coloring in a coloring book. I don't care. Whatever speaks to you needs to be done. This is the self-care that needs to happen. And I'll tell you why. Because when you are put on this earth, your only job, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, is to manage your essence, okay? It's to manage the vessel that your soul comes in, that your spirit comes in. So you manage the vessel and you manage your spirit, okay? And so what happens, right? If you don't take care of this and establish your own, connect with your own needs, connect with your energy, know what your purpose is, then you're constantly grasping at everything outside of you because we need to center ourselves in something, right? We need to ground ourselves. So if you don't take the time to ground yourself to your own inner guidance, you will be grounding yourself to what your mother says, what your father says, what your husband says, what your wife says, what your kid says, what the neighbor says, what the asshole in the corner says. You are going to all over be like this, right? Because you're not going to have your own energy. And you have to manage it. It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility. Self-care is not a luxury. Managing your energy is not something you do on your spare time if you by chance get to it. No, that's your responsibility. If you are raising children, if you are part of a family, if you are in a relationship, you have to take care of your stuff first. You have to know where you're coming from. You have to speak calmly. You have to be connected. You have to know what you want before you speak to someone, before you move forward, before you do anything. Because if you're not clear, and if you're not connected to your purpose, well, then anybody's going to be able to convince you that your purpose is many, many other things. Oh, I need help here. Oh, do this. Oh, do that. Oh, do this. And you all of a sudden, you are doing everybody else's bidding. You are taking care of everybody else. And all the things that you are passionate about, all the things you care about, all the things that you want to contribute to the world, to your children, to your community, to your family, all that gets put aside. But that's irresponsible. Because your purpose on earth is to shine your light and spread the word through you. Spread your word, spread your love, spread your light, spread your energy. That's your job. That's your only job, right? That's your only job. We birth children and we let them spread their light. And they've got a little piece of us that they take with them and they run with it, and that's beautiful. But we still are responsible for what we're responsible for, what comes with us. And what comes with us is what's in here and what's out here, right? So your daily ABCs, I talked about it this week. I will continue to remind you. The action most of us have been avoiding, which is what's funny about this talk, is self-care. I bet you every single person, especially if you are a mother watching this show, you avoid self-care. You avoid taking care of yourself. You avoid taking the time for what you need because there's this guilt. There's this overwhelming sort of like societal pressure that if you sit down for 1 second to just simply enjoy yourself, you are being selfish. And you are not being selfish. You are being responsible for the energy that you put out into the world. And that is about self-preservation, right? That's about self-preservation because that's what self-care really is, about self-preservation, about preserving what you need to be taken care of, what your responsibility is, your vessel, right? That's all self-preservation. And it's so important that you do not get disconnected from who you're really meant to be. no matter what shows up in your life. Whether, in our situation, whether you have, a diagnosis you need to deal with, or things are falling apart all over the place, then it is more important for you to take care of yourself. It is more important for you to manage your energy because you have a lot on your plate. And if you're not taking care of that for yourself, well, no one else is going to take care of it for you, I promise you. But if you do take care of your energy, if you do take care of yourself, if you manage, sort of your energetic field, well, then you can handle anything that comes your way because you're going to be in your own energy. You're going to be vibrating at your ideal frequency because that's what you aim to do, because that's what you're practicing doing. That's what Me First Mornings is, and that's what the Daily ABCs helps you do. Oh my goodness, Danny, hi, I love that you're here. Yes, ABCs, action you've been avoiding, taking care of your body. And listen, taking care of your body can be any number of things. And I had a show on Daily ABC, so I don't need to go into all that, but it can be many, many things. It can be resting. It can be, giving yourself a treat. It can be just looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me through all this. Because I can tell you that if your body wasn't functioning, and if you had issues with your body, let me tell you, you'd be looking at yourself in the mirror, yelling at your body for how betrayed you feel by it today, right? But instead, I want you to focus, and while it's functioning, while you are functioning, while you are young and healthy and free and abundant in all the ways that you are, now's the time to be like, God, I feel so good in my body. God, I feel so good in my life. And I can always feel better. And you can always feel better. And this is the work that's going to help you feel better one step at a time. All right. I have to pull a card. Oh, my goodness. Danny, thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad you were here today. I guess you needed to be here because normally my show is at 9:30. All right. Let's see what our spiritual support team has to say about this topic of taking care of yourself and how important it is, and how it is most definitely your responsibility, just like everything else. And not to make it like one more thing you have to do, but my God, enjoying yourself should be a priority, right? Enjoying yourself, taking care of yourself, having fun, connecting with the parts of you that bring you joy. Because if you're miserable out in the world, well, you're not going to add much. But if you're happy, watch happy people. They're fun to be around. Let me tell you. When I'm happy, I'm fun to be around. That's why you guys come watch me, right? All right. One last shuffle. Let's see what the cards have to say, and then I have to go. Okay. Oh, my God, guys. Look at this card. All right. Number 43. Details. And it came upside down. And I love that it came upside down, and we're talking about self-care because this speaks to me in so many ways, but what it's talking to me is that we are resisting, these little details, taking care of ourselves. Sometimes, we think big, and we think self-care, like I'm going to eat a organic diet and oh, just wait, I'm going to, and we set all these expectations for ourselves of how we're going to live our best life. I'm going to make 6 figures. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to, make sure that I do all these big, grandiose things. But look, guys, it's in the details. It's in the day-to-day. It is small but consistent action, supporting yourself with small and consistent action, and practicing taking care of yourself, practicing putting yourself first, practicing setting your boundaries, practicing saying no. That's what we need work on. That's what we need help with, right? It's those little details. It's in the everyday things where we establish who we are. It's in the everyday things that we manifest what we want in the future, that we make the changes to our vibration and to our frequency so that we can be more open to receive everything that we deserve. Remember, I really want you to take this and think about this. The details. Where are you ignoring yourself? Where are you ignoring your needs? Or to use the word, of course, of the Daily ABCs, what are you avoiding in your self-care? What is missing for you? What is not connecting where you don't feel supported? Because that's what happens. If you're stressed out and overwhelmed, it's because you don't feel supported. So the first thing you need to do is figure out how you can support yourself. And then when you learn how to support yourself, you teach others how to support you too. When you set a boundary and say, hey, I don't take calls after 9:00, that's my family time, then somebody can call you after that, but then you don't answer. That's setting your boundary. And then that trains or teaches the people in your life, oh no, we don't ever call her after 9. She won't pick up the phone anyway, right? And your friends and your family and your loved ones and people who truly care about you, whatever boundaries you're set, they're going to respect because they love you and they want to honor you and what you need. So don't be afraid to take care of yourself. And if taking care of yourself ruffles some feathers, maybe some of those ruffled feathers need to go away. Maybe they need to be ruffled. Maybe they just need some space from you. Doesn't matter. You take care of yourself because you are a bright shining light and you are a gift from God. So it is your job to make sure that you are shining as bright as you can. And I really hope that you take this advice to take care of yourself as essential to your well-being and to the well-being of your family and your community. Because if each person was to take care of themselves and they were really, really connected to their highest purpose, well, then everybody would benefit from that. Because if everyone is connected and impacting others because of their connection to their highest purpose, well, that means everybody is being affected in a really beautiful way. Everybody's being influenced. Everybody's vibration is being raised. All right, that's it. I gotta go. I love you all. Don't forget, you are the light. Keep shining as brightly as you can. I love you all. If you need me, you know where to find me. I'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 a.m., Monday through Friday on YouTube at Me First Mornings. Don't forget to subscribe.